She's a pretty senorita, and they don't get any sweeter than that pretty senorita. She's a pretty senorita, oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey everybody, this is part 4, so please check all my videos out and see part 1, stories about Hispanics and blacks, love them, hate them, part 2, same title, part 3, and part 4. This is part 4. And we're going to talk about Hispanic guys. Like I said in part 1 and 2 and 3, we broke down talking about little Hispanic children. You know, we talked about number 2, we talked about Hispanic women. And number 3, we talked about Hispanic older men. But it's the number 4, we're going to talk about Hispanic guys. And Hispanic guys is, I think that's probably where the problems or the issues between blacks and whites occur or stem from. Because, you know, the Hispanic guys that are middle-aged or in their 20s or whatever, you know, they're warriors. You know, they're supposed to be the protectors of their race, their culture. They're trying to make a name for themselves. And so that's where you may find where you have jealousy, hate, envy, indifference, and you have issues with. Hispanic men, the Hispanic people as a whole, in my opinion, are very been considered or classified by a lot of other people as cliquish. They're very cliquish. They work together, they stick together, they do things together, and they're very exclusively to themselves. They don't really like to do things with other people. It appears that way. Now, they're not the only ones that do that. You know, Asian people are notorious for that, and other cultures as well. Middle Eastern, everything, very Jewish people reign supreme with that. So, black people are the only ones where, come on in, everybody to the cookout, everybody come on in, come on down. You know, we're that way. And it's natural that we would be that way because we're the mothers and fathers of civilization. It's in our DNA. It's a scientific fact. And so we seem to have a little more tolerance with everybody. We seem to have a little bit more forgiveness and understanding with everybody. And we're criticized for that. And we are almost like punished because of that. But that's the reason why we run faster, jump higher, stronger, better looking, and have, so many other things that the world loves. That's why God blessed us. But with all that being said, the Hispanic guys, let's talk about them. Well, the Hispanic guys, as some have described, they're more secretive. Where black people are more open. I don't like you. I do like you. I can work with you. I can't work with you. Hispanic people got this similar kind of gift, the superpower that white folks generally have. And that is the gift of a smile, a kind word, but still might not stand your ass in real life. That is a special, special talent. Hispanic guys have that. Hispanic women, that's more of a problem for them, but you do have some that have developed that. The more ethnic ones don't have it. They're either hot or cold. But there are others in the group that seem to have the more, I don't like you, or you can't tell. Hispanic guys are like that. They don't talk. They don't tell. Their face is hard to read. You got to tell by their actions. Actions always speak louder than words. So Hispanic guys, after they see you a while, they warm up to you. They're some of the best guys in the world. Some of the most wonderful people in the world. But it takes time and they have to see you outside their group. But they work together, and they're very, very, like I said, white folks got this thing that they can smile at you, and they can talk nice to you, and they have these pleasantries, and they're diplomatic diplomacy is what they call it. And they're very, very good at that. Hispanic guys are like that too. Hispanic guys don't talk a lot, but when they do, that's how it is. And they're pretty much to themselves. Where black people, we don't have that. If we don't like you, come hell or high water. We can't pretend very well. We're actors when it comes to a lot of things. Oh, we can win an Oscar playing out a role, but we can't when it comes to our feelings. We either like you or we don't. Black people are the true break you out of a Mexican prison type friends when we are your friends. If we don't like you, then, we don't like you. But even if a black man, the worst of us, and we got some bad ones, don't like you, can't stand you, we still would pick up a bucket of water and put you out if you were on fire. You would have had to did something to our mama or our sister for us to just watch you burn. We don't do that. We can't. The DNA won't let us. The coon in us won't let us. We can't. We just can't. Most of us. some can do that. Beat their girlfriends up, throw them out of a window, kick them downstairs. Especially if they get in law enforcement. Oh yeah, if a girl meet a guy in law enforcement, God help you, because I have heard some horror stories about women married, dating police officers. Or people in power, period. I mean, look at what's going on with Puffy. He's not a police officer, but he kicked and beat his girl out in the hallway. So, we have all kinds. And it takes all kinds. So, getting back to Hispanic guys, I think they have that talent, as I said before, where they not very honest all the time about their feelings when it comes to black men. And they are followers. A lot of them. They follow the leader. They're very, very, with black people, we can't walk in line behind each other. We all got to do our own thing. We all got to be the star. But when it gets down to it, if it gets bad, we in line, baby. Nobody can march like we can. I mean, we make the Germans look like they skipping and falling over each other with their march when it comes to us, when it comes to danger and trouble. But in general, we march to our own drums. Hispanic guys are more in line. Like white guys in general, especially in the past, they march together, they're together. And that's part of the problem that we have in society, that the bad ones really work together. But talking about Hispanic guys, my first clue that there was an issue with Hispanic guys and they thought different from from Latino women is, like I told you in the first video, when I was coming here, I was supposed to stay with Patty's boyfriend and a couple of roommates they had. They had worked it out ahead of time, but as time went by and it got closer to the date, at the last minute I was supposed to come, Patty's roommates or whatever, not Patty's roommates because they were women, but the guys who stayed in the valley, they were like, nah, they changed their mind just like that. Without explanation, So I'm figuring they probably found out I was this big black guy. At first it was just like, oh, Patty got a boyfriend, a friend, he wants to come down here, no problem, come on down. Oh, he's a big old 6'5", 200-pound black guy. Oh no, we can't do that. We don't know this guy. We don't, So guys are like that. I mean, it could have been any but guy could have taken that attitude. Staying with them, having a stranger with them. But that's when I kind of saw they were a little more skeptical about that kind of stuff. Now, other little issues, Hispanic guys, since they don't talk a lot, they rarely talk. They talk to each other, but they don't really talk a lot to black guys. And when they speak, it's very few words. They generally ask you about what they want to ask you about. But they're not like us. They're not very conversationalists. They're not that way. Matter of fact, there was a Hispanic young lady who was Mexican. And she, by far, I would say to this day, is the most beautiful of all the Hispanic women I have ever seen in my life. She worked at a shoe company that sold shoes. And I used to go in there all the time and buy shoes. And I used to always try to flirt and try to talk to this young lady. And she would tell me, oh, Gregory. She used to call me, oh, Gregory. She was so sweet. I just loved to say hi to her and for her to call me Gregory. Bless her heart. Anyway, she had a boyfriend. And I said, well, can't we talk sometime? Maybe go out or whatever. You know, she was about 20, 22 years old or whatever. And she said, Gregory, I would love to. I'd love talking to you. You'd say the nicest thing. She said, Hispanic guys, they don't talk like that. You know, I don't know what she meant by that. Maybe the type of compliments I was giving her, they, you know, it's a cultural thing. They might be more direct. They didn't say the things I said. Because, you know, black guys, you know, we always got to butter it up. We got to put some cherry and whipped cream on top of our compliments. You know, girl, you know, you look so, you know. But she told me that her brother would never allow me to even be her friend. And I was shocked. I'm like, I don't even know your brother. But she was letting me know that Hispanic guys have issues with black guys. Now, her boyfriend happened to be a white guy. That's all I knew about him at the time. He was a white guy. Asians, the parents loved him to talk to a white guy. Hispanics love him to talk to a white guy. Even certain parts of Africa and other places around the world, they love for their children or whatever talk to a white guy. And I'm like, white guys? I got my history off. They're the ones that, you know, kind of been rough on you guys the most, especially the Asians. I mean, I can't see why you ever. I mean, dropped a bomb on you, but they love, you know, the victors. They love the victors. So these cultures, they love the victors. Black people, we're open. You can talk to them. We definitely want you to talk to a black person. That's our first choice. But then after that, you can talk to anybody. If they're nice to you, if they're nice to your family, if they respect your mom, respect your dad, come on in, come on to the party, everybody. We kind of changing it a little bit now because that Kobe thing, you know, we like to keep the money and everything in the family. We got to start thinking like everybody else. But, I mean, we still date. I mean, you know, always going to be room for a snow bunny with somebody. You know, snow bunnies are hard to pass up. You know, they're kind of fun. A lot of fun. Anyway, back to the issues. But black women are the most fun for me. Snow bunnies, though, you know what I'm saying? but anyway, this girl that I'm talking about at the shoe store, she told me that her brother would never allow her to talk to me, even be a friend. And I was just taken back by that. So there was a real issue when it comes to Latin men and blacks. Latin guys did not like, a lot of them did not like black men. I don't know. You know, I don't know the reason. You know, so like I said, the problem that black men seem to have, from what I heard, not being from California, and particularly California, there were issues with Hispanic gangs in the past where they were clearing out neighborhoods. Some order came from jail or prison or something, I heard, and they were clearing out certain neighborhoods in the 80s or stuff like that by any means necessary. They wasn't fighting or clearing out for gang members who were opposite gang members of them, but they were sent out, from my understanding. And if you watch the YouTube videos of the legal information, I don't want to go by rumors or nothing. You literally can look it up on the news. From the news stories of the 80s, you can see that they had members that would go in and victimize young people and other people, non-gang people. And so a lot of black people took offense to that, because it's one thing to go out and you warn with other gang members, but when you out hurting regular citizens just because you want to take over a certain neighborhood, take over a certain city, that was a bridge too far for a lot of black people to cross. So that had a lot of, to this day, that is a major problem. That was a major problem back then. I don't think that's so much the issue now. I don't know. I'm not in the gang, but that's what I heard. That's what I hear. And there was a lot of hate, lot of hate with middle-aged white people and Asian people and Hispanic people. A lot of middle-aged white people that I encountered absolutely had zero tolerance for anyone Mexican or Latin. I mean, I don't get it, because Latin people have been here a long time, but they just don't like them. And I don't know if Latin people, especially this new generation, I don't think they know that. I don't think they have a clue. They need to go back and watch those old classic movies called, like the movie called The Giant with James Dean. That kind of explains a little bit of it. The I don't know, this hate they have, you know, like we're treating them like black people in the old South. I mean, they just really don't like them. But Hispanic people love white folks. They want to be white. They consider themselves white. Black people, as far as we're concerned, we can't even process that. You know, these people hate your guts, and you want to be like them. We worship them. You won't let your daughter talk to a black guy, but you encourage her to talk to a white guy. So there was always a gap. There was a gap. I know that Fred Hampton with the Black Panthers tried to bring different groups together because they had similar problems in society. And I know that other people have done things. It was never, as far as I knew, a black, white, a Hispanic, a brown, black alliance. You know, I think a few nice idealistic people talk about that, but I don't, you know, black people get along with everybody. Hispanic people are always welcome to the party. We go to Hispanic restaurants. We support Hispanic businesses. We love Hispanic women. We do all that, but that's not the same. It doesn't come this way. You have a lot of Hispanic guys that do date black women. Now, marrying them, I don't know if it's the same number ratio. I think black people probably marry more Hispanic women than Hispanics marry black women. I think black women, after black men and white men, I think it's probably Asian men. Hispanics, I don't know if that number is still as high, because there's a lot of racism or classism in the Latin community. You know, from Spain, they were real big on that whiteness, just like a lot of Asian people. So there's that history. Now, what could fix the problem? What could fix that problem? But let me finish the story first about the beautiful Hispanic girl that worked at the shoe shop. Yeah, she one day came down the street and with a car, 3 carloads of people, and they were celebrating something. I don't know if it was football game or something they were celebrating. And I saw her. I spotted her. She drove down my street. And she was the manager of my old building. And this manager was a white beach kind of guy. And the first time I met the guy, I walked in on him. He was smoking crack cocaine in the front room. So I don't think she had a clue of what kind of guy he was. Now, he was nice to me, but he was just really, really into getting high. And when I first moved into that apartment, he robbed me. He came in after I was loading my stuff up. He came in and stole the only valuable thing I had, which was clippers, which I could use some clippers now. That's the reason why I'm looking like a Santa Claus to you people now. And forgive my teeth, too. Before I made this video, I ate a banana and some other stuff, so my teeth are sticky. It looked like I haven't brushed my teeth in a week. And then, of course, it looked like I haven't shaved in a month because my shaver went bad. So I ordered a new one. So that's the reason why I look the way I look. But, you know, before long, I'll be back to my old self. But anyway, she came down the street and I saw her with the guy. She took one look at my face. One look at my face. And I just was so blown away and so shocked that somebody as sweet and as innocent and lovely as she was what a white guy from hell. I mean, this guy was, like I said, he stole from me. I walked in on him, you know, smoking crack cocaine one day when I was here at the place. So she was with this guy. I knew that she didn't have a clue what this guy really was like. But that girl, the next day, I had never told her where I lived. I had never invited her to my place. I just wanted to talk to her on the phone. She told me her brother wouldn't stand for it, for me to talk to her. She came to my apartment and knocked on the door, found out where I lived, and knocked on my door. I swear on a stack of Bibles. You know, you're not supposed to swear, but I'm telling you the truth. She knocked on my door in the evening. It was about 6 or 7 that night. She knocked on my door and came in, and I was shocked because, you know, I was crazy about this girl. But she came by herself. She said, Gregory. I'm like, yeah. She said, Gregory, what's wrong? What's wrong, Gregory? I said, what you mean what's wrong? I haven't spoken to you and seen you since I saw you in the parade. She said, I looked at your face. And something is wrong. You know my boyfriend. Tell me, Gregory. Tell me. So I'm no snitch. I'm not going to say nothing about her boyfriend. You know, I didn't want to. I failed. But I made it hard for her. I didn't just come out with the goodies. You know, she loved this white guy, so I didn't want to hurt her and tell her anything about, you know, her great white hope, you know. So she said, Gregory, I'm not going to leave until you tell me you know something. You know something. I'm telling you what she said. I know it sounded like that was in a movie, but that's what she told me. I said to her, okay. And I use this trick a lot on a lot of beautiful women. Only on 10s and 11s. You got to be a 10 or 11 for me to do it. But I figured 10s and 11s get so many people treating them. They get so blessed. They get so many goodies that I would tell her, look, they got a Burger King up the street or some kind of hamburger place, McDonald's or whatever. I told her, go get me 2 Big Macs and a drink and some fries. And I'll tell you, because she was there like 5 minutes. She was grilling me, trying to get information. I wasn't going to snitch on the guy. I'm not a snitch. But, you know, I could be bought. So she said, okay. I didn't think she'd be back that day or whatever. 30 minutes later, 25 minutes later, she was knocking at my door, came in with 2 Big Macs. And I remember I was poor then. I was like struggling. I just came to California, whatever. I didn't have a lot of money or nothing. This beautiful, beautiful senorita I've been trying to talk to forever and a day, wouldn't give me the time of day, came to my place, bought all this food, paid for it. She paid for everything. I love that part. Man, to make a 10, spend their money, oh my God, that is the greatest high. You think having sex with a 10, that ain't nothing. Send a 10 to the store, have her get you something. Oh my God, that is it for me. That's right. I'm a man of low standards. But anyway, that's for me. Girl spending some beautiful woman spending some money on you. Man, I don't think it gets any better. But anyway, she came in. And so I told her, I said, you know, she said, what does he do? What's the problem? She must have knew something or suspected something. So I just told her, I said, look, he seems like a nice guy, but he gets high. He uses drugs. And, that's what you need to look out for, because that's an issue, you know. And so she did not know what those were. I tried to explain it to her as best I could, but that's what happened. So anyway, that's what happened. And I allowed her to have that information, and she used that information, and she made whatever decision they made. So my experience, like I said, with Hispanic women have been very positive. Hispanic children have been very positive. Hispanic older people have been wonderful. They're very nice people. Hispanic guys, very secretive, move very quietly. There's a major distrust of the black people. But the way to fix the problem, to get black people out there marching with you, if that's what you want, to make black people your friend and close the gap between Hispanics and blacks, they only have to do one thing. It's the one true test. They only have to do one true test. And that is, if you believe in reparations for FBAs, if you believe that black folks who built this country, and we built this country and did it for free, And we have invested our time, our money, our blood. So have others. But we are the foundational people here that done the most for the new republic that was formed here. And if you believe that, and you're willing to fight for that, to put some money in a black man's hand, if you're white, if you're a woman, or if you're Hispanic, or if you're Asian, or if you're Middle Eastern, whatever you are, or some blacks, Caribbean, who can't stand the thought of that. But if you are one of those groups and you believe in putting some money in a black man's hand for reparations, then that will close all gaps. If you're white, if you're a woman, any woman, if you put some money in a black man's hand, that's the true test. See, blood and money are similar because you have to sacrifice when you give it. And if you give, if you believe that black people are entitled, and not just believe it, we don't care about the mouth. All those groups know how to talk, that pretty talk, as Malcolm X say. We don't care about pretty talk. We care about you marching for that, fighting for that, sacrificing for that. If you believe that we're entitled, and I don't mean no $10,000. I mean, reparations would be about $2 or $3 million, okay? Probably about $5 million a person. If you believe that, and it would take a whole lot for you to believe that, then we can hang. And that's how it works. That would close the gap. That would be the sacrifice. That would, we march with you, fight with you, do whatever with you. If you believe that, but if you don't believe that, which most of you can't even keep listening to this recording me saying that the idea is so offensive to you. Everybody did it. Everybody did it. You wasn't here and all that. Yeah. If you don't believe in putting some money in a black man's hand, then we don't care either. And that's it. All black men, all black people, FBAs, B1s think that way. And if you make that sacrifice, if you tell that story, if you believe that way, then we can have some serious conversations. All right. Anyway, this is your boy, music artist Stone Thug. Remember, I'm Stone Thug, and you're not. StoneThug.com. Just Google Stone Thug, and they have 4 of these videos. Watch them all. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. Appreciate you so much. All right, peace.